Name is Corporal Terry Maloney, and I am going to go through a little bit of how we process you through the REF and what we actually do in our organisation. So these are our REF core values. We do expect everyone to uphold these. So they are respect, integrity, service, and excellence. So we do look for personal qualities. When you do come in for your interview, we will ask what personal qualities you hold and what personal qualities you actually expect REF personnel to have. So some of these are ability to work in a team, good communication skills, integrity and honesty, fitness, motivation, smart appearance, leadership, self-confidence, and so there are some challenges in the REF. And these can be things like additional duties. You may be tasked to do guard duty on a station, and this can be late nights because they do say that we are working 24 hours a day. That can be a challenge for some people, but you always do get the downtime that you do need as well. Away from home and deployments, so sometimes you might be sent away for 4 months or 6 months, and that really depends on your trade, how long you need to go for, and how often you will do that for. But you always have the welfare and support when you do go away, and you do make friends whilst you're away because will be different trades there as well. Is discipline. So if you've not really had that discipline before, we do expect a certain amount of discipline within the Royal Air Force, and security as well. One of the main things is, yes, we are the military, and sometimes we are under target by different organisations. You just have to make sure once you are in the military that you are a little bit more savvy on your Facebook or Twitter accounts and just not really explaining where you are and what you're doing, especially if you do go out of area, which means your deployment away from home. So what's in it for you then? There's lots of things that the REF can offer. A massive one for us is just to tell you how much you can do within your sport and fitness. So if you do have any sports that you are interested in, things like rugby, football, any winter sports, anything like that, then we do want you to go ahead and continue with them in the Air Force. You'll also get that time away to do the sport without it eating into any of your leave, so you actually get extra leave to do that. And a lot of things as well, the military will pay a lot of money for you to go and do these sports. So in my career, I have done luge, Olympic luge, and I went to Austria for a couple of weeks, and I probably spent about £300 of my own money. That was just because of food. The REF paid for all my accommodation and every single slide that I did. I've also done sailing, paid nothing towards that. And I also went snowboarding, and I only paid a small percentage towards that. The RAF really do give you a lot of money, and if there's any sport that you don't think that on your camp, when you do get to a camp, that they provide, then you can almost make up a new organisation to have that again. Education is huge. So I joined up when I was 16. I had no GCSEs, and I had to go through my career, and I did my GCSEs. I then went on to level 2, level 3, level 4 diplomas, ended up doing my level 5, and now I'm doing a degree. So there are lots of different opportunities, and the RAF funded pretty much most of that for me as well. There's so much welfare and family support. So whether or not, something happens, or lots of different things can happen in life, change of circumstances, there's so much support on different camps. You just need to go and speak to someone, and then they'll help you as much as they can. And then there's travel as well. I've traveled all over the world. I've been to about 35 different countries with the RAF. And if it's something that you aspire to do, there's so many different opportunities there for you to do it. Just when you get onto your first camp, start inquiring about it. So pay and pension, your pension, you don't pay anything into it yourself. That is all paid in for you. And then once you leave, that's when you get your pension, either depending on how long you've done, or if after a certain age. But your pay after training is £20,000 now, and that'll go up yearly. And then depending on promotion as well, that'll go up again. And that's the same for the officer with the pension. And after phase 2 training, you will be on almost £32,000 a year. So we offer 23 apprenticeship roles. We are Ofsted Outstanding, and we've just become in the top 100 apprenticeships organisations that offer them. We're in the top 10, which is an absolute privilege to be there. We've done so much. We really do want to give you the most out of apprenticeships that there is. So yeah, apprenticeships, there are some out there, so please inquire, ring up the AFCO and ask about them. There's lots of different officer roles in the RAF, and on the screen now you can see. If you are interested in any of them, but please just speak to your AFCO. We can put you in the right direction. But a lot of them as well, there can be sponsorship. So if you wanted to be an engineer or things like that, there are a lot of sponsorship that we can provide. So please just speak to the AFCO. And in the senior non-commissioned is there's some opportunities there. So you've got things like weapon system operator. So when it says sergeant, that means that you actually go in as a sergeant. So a better pay band, and then you have to get trained up, go to Cranwell, very much like the officer, but then you go to direction as the sergeant. And then ground trades in the RAF, there is a lot of ground trades. A lot of them, anyone can join, because some of them as well don't require GCSEs. So like myself, I joined up as an air and ground steward. That actually didn't require any GCSEs. I've just decided to go through my career and develop on my education myself. And then some of the more technical trades, they require maths and English and a science, but most of them just require maths and English. So how you apply then? So this is the same as an officer or a ground trade. I'll go through the ground trade and then just adjust it for the officer as well. So everyone will apply online, and what will happen with your application, it will go to a virtual AFCO, and then they'll just see if you're eligible. And then you will get sent a presentation. Due to COVID at the moment, it will be sent online. And this will just explain a little bit more about the RAF and your job role or branch role that you'll be going to. So then as a ground trade, then you'll be invited in to do a selection test. So this is an aptitude test that will be at the AFCO, and you'll do a series of tests just to make sure that the job that you want to go for kind of meets you the requirements. Hopefully you pass that selection test. Yep, and then you can go on to your selection interview. With this is again over online, so over on Skype, and we will just ask you a series of questions, half of them of which is all about you in the last usually 5 years of your education or your last job. And then the other half will be everything about the RAF. So we want to know that you know what you're getting yourself in for, you know about your Holton training, your trade training, make sure you're physically fit, and then anything we like to touch base on, a couple of current operations just to make sure that you are aware of what you could potentially be going to, and some bases and things like that as well. Some roles require a specialist interview, so things like PTI and regiment, they will go off and have a specialist interview where they will tend to do their fitness test there as well. And once you pass that, you'll then come back to us. That will be after your health assessment. So everyone will have a medical first. The medicals, due to COVID, are split into two. So the first is a phone consultation, and then after that, you'll be face to face with the doctor. They'll just make sure that you are fit enough to join the military. And once you pass that, you then do your fitness test. The fitness test depends on age and gender. And once you pass your fitness test, you will then have your offer of service. And that's when you'll then enter service. The officer role is a little bit different, as instead of doing a selection test, you potentially could do a computer-based aptitude test, and that's over at Cranwell, depending on the trade that you're going for. And then you will still do an interview. This is called a filter interview, which is a little bit more intense than the selection interview that we do with the ground trades. And then you will, if you pass that, it'll be medical fitness test and then OESC over at Cranwell. Hopefully you pass all that, and then it'll be your initial officer training. So fitness is a huge one at the moment where a lot of our candidates are failing. So if you do have any aspiration to join at all, then please start getting physically fit now. So we require a 1.5 mile run in a certain amount of time, and your press ups and setups. Once you enter service, you will then do your bleep test that depending on your age and gender, and then your press ups and sit ups as well. So you can find out more. There's lots and lots of things on the internet, or definitely come and speak to us at the AFCO. Give us a call or an email, and we'll definitely get back to you and let you know what we can do for you to help. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon.